Adversity, bring it. The struggle, we welcome it. Snooze on life, never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast, episode 95. We're slowly creeping our way to 100, Michael Pirelli. I am here with the entire crew. I apologize in advance because your boy sounds a little viral on the microphone. I've had this viral, non-contagious infection for about 3 weeks now, but the entire crew is here. So I am with Michael, the show, Pirelli, Claudio, the skinny voice, Valenzuela, and we have Justin, the most famous intern Sanchez, and I am Dave, the body, Regina. Michael, how the hell are you, my brother?
Phenomenal. Thinking that maybe we should get dual nose jobs.
Yeah,
because
right?
you have a deviated septum,
Yes.
right? So do I.
Yeah, it's tough.
Shout out if we can get a sponsor to give us nose jobs.
What are they, rhinos?
Can we just show up with like the packaging with the black eyes?
I would do it. I'm in. Yeah.
But we have to tell people we got in a fight.
Yes,
Okay?
I'm down.
Not with each other, someone else.
Yes, we tried to beat somebody up and
Yep.
then they broke our nose.
Ideally, like we saved someone's life. We'll get a good story.
I like that.
But if you do plastic surgery, hit us up. Greenwich probably has some people.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, this viral infection has been killing me. For the past 3 weeks, I've had this, and it's moved all over. It's called pharyngitis, right?
Yeah.
A little head spin there. But it started with my daughter 3 weeks ago. Then my niece London had it, and I can't seem to kick it.
I feel like everyone's getting sick.
I mean, I had to go to the doctor. I got tested for mono. I got tested for COVID. I got tested for strep throat, negative. And then they say, oh, we can't give you anything. You just got to wait. Oh, I'm like, how long? 3 more weeks?
I could tell you haven't been feeling well because the weights have been very light lately.
Listen.
315 for 9. I'm like, what are we doing?
Lightweight, baby. Listen, before we get started, I know you guys know, but I just want to say rest in peace to my grandmother. Yep. Grandma Rose Marie Regina. Beautiful story, though. So, yes, she did pass extremely quick from when I shared that she was diagnosed with lung and brain cancer. But she met my grandfather at the age of 17 on the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, wow.
Do you know she passed to go be with her king, my grandfather, on the St. Patty's Day parade? How crazy is that, right?
It's pretty awesome.
Exactly 63 days to the date. So we're looking at it as a celebration of her life versus just being sad about it.
Rose was the name that I was throwing out for a second kid because my grandmother's name was Rose, and I was tight with her. So.
Is it Rose Marie? Like my grandmother is Rose Marie.
Nanny Rose? No, I'm just kidding.
Nanny Rose. Her first name was Nana.
I don't know if she has a middle name. That's pretty bad. Ma. What's Nana's middle name?
Yeah. So I'm already thinking of the tattoos that are gonna come along with that. I got 2 grandmas I got to add to my repertoire.
Where do you add a grandma? Is that
so? I have my grandfather here, and this is more of my heaven piece, and then I have them watching over Callie Michelle on the other side.
A little message there.
Might incorporate,
how do I get on there? How do I hop in there for a little protection?
Just don't pass away. I got to do it while.
Is that why?
I got to give you your flowers early.
But Callie's alive.
Yes. Well, that's why she's on this.
Let me get right next to Callie. You're 2 important people.
How about I just take out the Michelle and I put Michael?
Yeah, there you go.
Callie, Michael. My brother.
I thought it actually said Michael. Callie and Michael.
I might slap a No Snooze logo on here too.
Just right.
Just sleeve it up. But yeah, so that was a little tough. But she's in it. She's in a much better place. We all go through loss in life, so we move forward.
Well said.
How's the Podbot doing, my brother?
I mean, if you're following the Instagram, if you haven't, go follow, like, subscribe, all the goods. I'm in a zone. I'm locked in.
You're in a 2-3, 3-2 March Madness.
The what?
Are you in a 2-3, a 3-2?
I don't know what that means.
Zone.
Oh, Zone D? I'm not doing Zone D. I'm playing man. I'm playing boxing one.
Okay, boxing one.
Boxing one, and me and Jim Miguel are one-on-one these days. No, a couple of weeks have been tough. Livy's been sick constantly. Daycare.
Yep.
It gets you. Daycare gets you quick. So we, had 2 weeks of rough sleep. Work is starting to pick up again. My systems are keeping up finally because I've made it very efficient or made it more efficient, and I'm used to it now. My MyFitnessPal app has been on a roll. I've been basically tracking everything. I am limiting what I'm eating. I'm putting more restraints on things. And then, as you saw, I've had my cheat days. I did 3 bacon, egg, and cheeses to start Friday. To start the day, I ate 3 bacon, egg, and cheese. I used all my calories early.
You But like when you
I
do that,
ate them all.
really?
Yeah, and I have
All your
I don't even know if
calories
I
for
can
the
do that.
week?
No. So yeah, I mean the big change, and I want to see your guys' input because I know you'd like how I keep adding items to the gym, to my tabletop. The big additions I want to make to the gym, and just the Mike Nutrition Mike area, Miguel, I got a rice cooker.
Okay.
AKA, I shout out Cindy Pirelli. She's like me and buys random stuff, so I always know if I want to buy it, she probably bought it 10 years ago. So I got a rice cooker, no knobs, one button. Okay, so I'll tell you about that later.
On?
Stay tuned.
On off.
Warm and cook. I'm like, there's not even an off button.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like, so I got a rice cooker, and I'm buying. Tell me if you think it's stupid. A weight vest.
No, I don't think it's stupid. I saw your pull up. I saw you add the little dumbies to the ankles.
So I was listening to Mind Pump Podcast, one of my favorite. Shout out you guys. One of the guys that looks like you. I say it all the time. I don't look like any of them because I'm too jacked. But they gave me the best combos that they think for the most efficient workouts. So I'm like, it's good to have in case I'm tight on time and I need to rush through stuff. And then just to start the workout with the most efficient. And they like deadlifts to pull-ups because they think when you do deadlifts, the motion it primes you to be able to do a pull-up a little more explosively, which it worked because my I don't know if it's the work I've been putting in, but my pull-ups felt a lot better. I don't know why. So I've been doing that combo. Do you like that combo?
I do. I'm on the same thing with Ambrosio.
Okay.
He's got me doing pull-ups first. I mean, I do pull-ups every day to kind of warm up.
Oh, we know.
But he has me deadlifting and then doing weighted pull-ups after.
Yeah, so you do deadlift first, then pull-ups.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something to it because it works.
Probably. I don't know. I like it.
What are you gonna say when I have like 45s and I'm just pa pa?
I'll be hyping you up.
I can't go all the way up because I hit my head. Did you see?
Yes,
my head goes through. I might need to cut a hole. So
Yeah, you should do that. If you do that, that would be elite. Just cut a hole to the living room.
Well,
literally just pop it up. You're playing hide and seek with Livy while you're doing pull-ups.
I'm not even lying. There is a hole because they had to run electrical to the new thermostat right next to it. So if I shift it over, my face would disappear.
That's pretty hilarious. You should do that.
So the weighted vest. What are the cases against it? Because I'm trying to research it, but there's so many different types. It's alarming.
I mean, I think it's great for like body weight exercises.
Dips.
You know what I mean?
Dips are the biggest thing.
Body weight squats.
Maybe walking with
push-ups, walking, jogging, that type of stuff. Pull-ups. But for you to you're not going to like go show houses in a weighted vest, right?
Maybe. Did you ever wear ankle weights on a day game? And then you at the end and before
I used to do that in high school.
Yeah, everyone did that.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe I'll start doing that. You know, just
people
would be like, "Why is your suit not?"
No, I think it's.
Can you imagine? I showed up to Suit Supply and I had a weighted vest. I'm like, "Can we do a suit around
the vest?" No, with body weight stuff, I definitely like it. For other things like regular presses, I don't really.
No. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But like for dips, I think it would be good because I have been really getting into dips again. And I love dips. It's one of my favorite exercises. But I feel like I'm just doing a lot of reps and I want to be more efficient. And I feel like when you do, the pump when you do a nice weighted dip, it was the best.
No, I like it. I like it for that.
Okay, so I should get it.
Yeah, get it.
All right. I love how you just like it.
Bring it, expose it on the next podcast.
So on the to-do is donuts, more donuts, which I've been delaying, had some good closings. Shout out clients. Shout out the clients.
Shout out the market.
Big March, record-breaking March. And so weighted vest and then more donuts, and then I'm going to get a sled in the summer. And then I'm going to get some turf and push it around.
I like it.
So
I'm in. Did you do a
Did you see my
stand?
form?
It looks good. Everything looks
squat
good.
form. Talk to me about it.
You're getting deep.
So much better.
Yep. But you're really loosening up the hips.
I'm
That's
trying.
what it is.
I'm trying.
That's
A
what
lot
it
of
is.
walking.
And now you have the weights on the feet
for now because I have a limited.
That's good. No,
I got to get.
helpful.
I want to get the. I need to get a certain. No, I don't know what the number is yet, but say 215 for say 5, and then I can buy myself like legit squat shoes.
215 pounds.
Yeah,
that's good. That's like my warm up.
That'll be phase 17.
But I do feel the
good.
quads coming in.
They look good.
I've never had legs.
I've never had like,
dude. I'm not.
upper body.
You've seen my calves. Calves are on the to-do list. So we were talking a little before recording. Second scan coming in. I felt super confident. Been dialed in. Diet's been on point. I've been hitting consistently. My motto has been 2,000 calories to my BMR, which is 2150 roughly. So as long as I land within that, I'm happy. And I'm not worrying too much about the carbs to protein to fat. I'm just making sure I get like 200 to 250 grams of protein. And some days I'm just feeling really like depleted.
Yep.
And I really push the protein intake. And that's been consistent. So I did my weigh-in. Shout out my guy Manny. Let me change in the back so I could put on my weigh-in. Isn't that so funny?
That's so good.
I've gone so much. I'm the number one client on that thing. He's like the only person that comes even close as much to you is once a month.
I need I want some more footage of that.
Yeah, I got a video. I videotaped him going in, but I didn't do it right. But I basically asked him, I'm like, am I annoying you? Because I opened up for him. I was standing there and he walked in a little late, and I'm like, Manny, my guy,
Come on, man.
I got appointments. But long story short, got on, wore the same thing again. I was down a half a pound of fat. So I went from 19.5 to 19.2.
Still teens.
Not stellar. We talked about it. I didn't have my morning routine. Didn't get to work out before. Didn't get to drink the fluids. Didn't get to use the restroom. So I'm guessing that I had some
you would have
fat
been
in the stomach.
Easy.
I think I would have broke 18, or at least that's what I'm telling myself to stay focused.
I like it.
But it was good. It was a nice, like, all right, it's working. Now it's time to scale it up again. So we're on phase like 26.
Okay.
But we're going to get there.
We are.
There's a lot of things in my life that I've tried to figure out, and my weakness, which we'll talk about later, is getting it's called shiny object syndrome, where something new will come up and I'll go try it. And in the past, like for professional life, I haven't done that. I've been very focused, long-term, short-term, but for my health and my fitness journey, I've been very it's called Barracuda or something, where you like keep looking at the shiny thing. So this is one of the first times in my life I've stuck to a regimen, and no matter what I hear from other people, I just said, I'm just going to do this. It's ride or die with this method.
I like it.
Okay?
Yep.
So proud. Super proud. All right, CV, what's yours look like? Because we know Dave is locked in and all this stuff.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm update for this week. Since my last weigh-in, another 3 pounds have come off. Now totaling
Unbelievable.
42.3.
So I made it a point to go before you because mine would sound terrible compared to that.
Well, it's only 3 pounds.
Yeah, but still,
only 3 pounds.
You dropping 3 pounds consistently now when you're already down 40 that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, percentage-wise, you posted about that.
Yeah.
Once you get that's even more impressive now than it was.
Yes, definitely. When are you starting some circuit workouts? Some weights?
When the weather turns.
When the weather turns.
This is an honest question. At what point does he need to do that? Can he just keep like ripping the walking?
Well, I definitely feel like I want to too.
Oh yeah.
And in the beginning, I remember I did not want to, and now I'm like, oh, maybe it's.
Well, you'll get to a point.
My shoulders, my arms looking kind of flabby.
Well, I was gonna say you'll get to a point. I think, just from my experience with most people, is you'll drop a nice amount of weight, but then now you become comfortable with that, right?
Your body.
Yeah, your body's like, to a point to where, okay, now you've been working so hard, now it gets a little bit harder. So to switch it up, you incorporate some weights, which just gets that metabolism going even more and adds muscle to the actual frame, and then you'll start to shape out a little bit.
And burn more.
Yeah, because I got to tell you, when I was more plump, the arms didn't feel they felt a little bit harder, not because they were stronger, just because they was
fuller,
full of and now they're a little bit a little saggy.
That's all right. Listen, it's good proggy.
Got to get back on a push.
I like it.
I'm on Claudio's behalf. I'm asking. So,
Claudio's behalf.
Yeah, no, because I'm curious. Because I'm using it for myself as well. So it helps with the tightness, like when you're losing weight, if you get like skinny fat, right, is the term. So if you incorporate weights at an earlier stage of weight loss, it helps because it helps tighten everything.
Well, so
like
weights actually
does the time make a difference?
Is that what you're asking? That's what I'm trying to ask.
No,
well,
weights,
timing matter?
Weights actually target body fat, whereas cardio will take off total loss. Right, so you're also burning muscle. Right? You're burning muscle. You're burning fat. It's a combination. But when you're actually doing like circuit workouts with dumbbells, you'll be targeting body fat. Right, so that's where the shape will start to take place.
Got it. So for my walking, I've learned that low intensity steady state targets body fat versus like intense cardio, which is more carbs. Right? Is that generally?
Yeah.
Generally,
yeah.
False? Is that false news?
Not false. It depends how you use it.
Fake news.
Well, I live by it. So
because when you actually hit some high intensity interval training hard,
Yeah.
and you do it properly for a short amount of time, you can
do it
really
too.
target body fat. But low intensity steady state cardio.
Would that be considered like when you
Walking-
were an athlete, when you were sprinting, when you were
Yes.
doing
Yes.
hills, when you
Yep.
were doing all the
Yep.
high
Your heart rate
intensity-
goes up
yeah.
and then you bring it back down. Heart
Yeah.
rate goes up, bring it back down. Versus low intensity is, you
Just
walking in a
walk.
steady state and a pretty low intense state because over time, then your body gets into, I think it's about after 20 minutes, your body will start targeting fat.
Yeah. So I've been ride or dying by the low intensity steady state. Are you hitting step count still? I've upped it to 13.
So my steps are kind of the same.
Yeah.
But I told you the intensity's been different.
Incline.
I've started running more. The other day, on this weekend, I actually ran straight, which is I told you guys I've been running a little bit, like 30-second intervals, minute intervals. I got it up to 3-minute intervals.
Nice.
And this weekend, I was aiming for a mile straight,
Oh,
no
wow.
matter how long it would take.
Uh-huh.
Didn't work, but I did get half a mile. So I ran
Straight?
for a half a
Wow,
mile.
That's pretty
straight.
awesome. Yeah. I don't
really
think I
good.
can run for
You're trying to run a
half.
half with me?
A half what?
Marathon? I don't know.
No, half a mile.
No, I
David.
know, but
Not
I
half
hate
a
running.
mile.
I hate it
Yeah.
too.
No,
But that's
not more
something
than
that I
me.
want to do.
That's a weakness I could care less about.
That's just something I just want to get done.
Unless I'm
I
in the
ran
woods and a bear
for
comes
my
after
entire
me.
athletic
Okay.
career.
I'm coming after you, so start running.
You can't catch me. I'll walk faster than you run.
You want
No,
to
I'm
hear?
kidding.
You want to hear my update?
No, are we? No, I'm gonna. Claudio's stuff is good. I got more
David,
questions.
David
for
wants to
Claudio.
go. Go ahead, David.
One more question for Claudio. So week over week, right? Are you, now that you got the momentum going, are you looking for a certain result each week, or are you just embracing the process, not really caring, just sticking to the plan?
I'm definitely embracing the process. I did have these kind of set goals, like I told you guys. A downward trend is what I said in the very beginning when I started the whole journey. As long as the scale says
progress.
minus 0.01, but it's minus, that's what I wanted to see. I'm not gonna lie though, it is very satisfying when I weigh myself and it's -2, -3, or in some occasions it's been like -4 or 6, which has been pretty awesome. But what that's allowed me to do is I don't feel as guilty when I do have a cheat now.
Oh, it's the best.
But I will tell you though,
the
no.
best.
But I will tell you that my now cheats are not like my then cheats. My then cheats look like your episodes of Tell Mike Sends You. My now cheats are like, I'll have a meal with my family with their cooking, which tends to be a little bit more sodium, tends to be a little bit more rice, more carbs. Whereas normally I crave the pre-made lunches that we have, even on the weekends.
Really?
Like I want to have my good meals,
Mhm.
And if I do have a cheat, it's like a cheap meal, and it's hopefully not too bad.
Yeah. Love it.
Awesome.
I'm
Killing it.
impressed.
Hell yeah.
So just progress is so addicting in any facet, especially fitness,
No, it
because
does
you
feel good.
see it. Like when you see progress and then its scale also says it, it's you could see how people get addicted to fitness.
Oh yeah.
You're not addicted, right?
No,
You're
no, definitely not.
Does Justin want to give us a fitness update?
No.
Fitness
absolutely
update, still working on building muscle. Same here.
not. So
Dope.
before I went to Vegas, that's when I weighed in.
Time out.
Right?
How did you just say that word?
Vegas.
All right, you said it right. That you were like Vegas.
Before I went to
Did
Vegas.
anyone catch that or no? Is that me? It's
Yeah.
the nasaliness. I do it
Could
too.
be, yeah,
yeah.
But I sound
Sorry.
terrible.
You sound
But-
good. That's
Nah,
what I
nah.
sound like. So
before
don't
I
insult
went to
yourself.
Vegas, though, I had weighed in, and that's what I provided last week, right? So I was at 11.1. Today, I'm going to give this to you so you can read it.
No, I don't want it.
But I didn't have my wristband on, right? And your wristband is basically your ID at the gym to where you put your number in. So like my wristband is like 6 digits, but I haven't memorized it for whatever reason. So I also knew that when I first started at that gym, I signed up with my phone number. So today I entered my phone number and I have my results. And I'm not too happy with it because my weight went up, body fat decreased, which was good, and my skeletal muscle mass is
booming
through that little hole in your ceiling, aka through the roof. But so this is my update from today, and you can see the dates. And it's ironic because if you look at the very first one, that was in October of 2019 when I first pretty much moved up there and joined the gym. And I was at like 12.7% body fat, and I was like, what, 220 something?
Dude, I'm looking at your lean body mass. Holy shit. So mine's like 180. Sorry, mine's 180.
180.
Yours is 211. That's insane.
of lean body mass.
What is that made of?
I don't know. But then also,
Wait,
it's weird.
211 out of the 230 that you are?
Yeah,
Is all lean.
and I'm heavy though.
That's like he's a
Obviously,
what type
you're
of steak is that?
210 pounds
No,
of,
I'm-
You know
of
what?
muscle.
Fat
200
as flavor. I'm like a wagyu. You're like what's the leanest cut? I'm like a
like
wagyu,
Kobe-
a lot of
Kobe beef?
marbling in my
Yeah,
body.
No,
a
but my
filet
weight came in
mignon.
heavy. It was 233 pounds, but I came in at 9.9% body fat,
Whoa.
down from 11.1 of my last week.
Can I borrow this?
Yeah,
Just show
right.
people?
Just show people.
10.
And you know it's me because up
Photoshop
top,
your name on the
6'2",
top, Michael.
6'2", 32 years old.
Dude, I'm close. I'm
Right?
six.
He said I'm
probably
close.
6'2", but I'm 30.
And you know what's crazy? I also needed to clarify my BMR here is extremely low. It's 2,400.
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know. I think I misspoke last week because I did look at another one and I was 2,700. I think I referenced 2,900, which was my highest at one point.
Yeah.
But with these numbers, I'm at 2,400, right? So that means my body's moving 2,400 calories just at a stagnant state. But I was impressed with the body fat. So
That
I'm
seems-
below 10.
Yeah, your BMR seems low for that.
It does. It does. I don't know. And I did drink. This is the difference, though. Typically, I don't drink a full 32 ounces before I go weigh in. Today I did because I didn't plan on weighing in, but I'm like, let me just see where I'm back from Vegas because I did go a little, off the rails. But I was happy with the body fat decrease.
Yeah,
But
that's nice.
I also think the weight is increasing because of my amount of carbohydrates that Ambrose has me on.
Yeah. So is that good or bad?
No, I think it's good because it's burning the fat, but it's definitely putting weight on me. What's my skeletal muscle mass?
Isn't that so hard because you're like, ooh, I burned fat, and I'm like, I got another because it messes up your percentage.
I mean, you know how quick we fluctuate 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So the last one I was like 228. That's 233.
That's why I weigh every day because then
Right?
I could see if anything funky is
It was
going
weird.
on.
I don't know. I mean, I liked it because listen, the goal is to get down to 8%, right?
Yeah,
so I
that's
went from
amazing.
11.1 to 9.9. So that's impressive,
Very impressive, especially after going to Vegas.
and going up 5 pounds. So that's where I'm a little thrown off. I don't know
Yeah, but if the math checks out, which it looks like it is, the big math.
the big math. And what is my?
I'm trying to decipher.
What's
this.
my
It's very
skeletal muscle
confusing.
mass?
Your trunk is huge compared to
What is my skeletal muscle mass?
your skeletal muscle mass is 123.7. So that is
What are you?
I'm
are
like
you at?
104 maybe.
All right, that makes sense.
107 I think
Yeah,
is
yeah.
my peak, which is I mean
But now from 2019, what was that 123 number? I'm just curious.
the one what do you mean?
Like
Oh,
what was
your
my
skeletal muscle mass was 113.
right? So
Percent body fat was
so in 2
13ish, 12.7, and then your weight was 222.
and what
So
was
you
that
added
date?
weight?
What was that
but
date?
Also
It says like 10 something 2019.
1910-29. So I'm assuming that's 10.
1019.
Yeah.
This is
19.
making for great camera work, by
Yeah,
the way.
sorry.
He's like,
Sorry.
boom,
I'm trying to
going
figure
back.
out this thing. This is it's interesting. So I'm getting more and more obsessed with data, and I love looking at this thing
Yeah.
because no matter how you weigh in, you can rationalize to yourself that it's progress if there's some type of progress on there. So like I didn't have like you're saying it was this is good. Mine this is great. Mine was like I think it's good, but then you rationalize yourself because you're learning how to read it.
Yep.
You're like, well, that was good. That was because weight is such a single number.
Yes.
Once you get to a certain point and you get to this phase, it's like, all right, well, what am I looking at? Which is interesting because that's how you should look at life. You know, it's not just
Yep.
like your bank account. It's like, all right, well, what's a bank account plus what goes into that? How much time are you spending on that? How much family time? It's interesting.
It is. And
Sorry,
that one, honestly, I
awesome.
I was not expecting these results.
So are we? I'm not trying to say that this has been easy for you, but you're crushing it,
Well,
right?
but because
so are
our-
we going to 4%? Are we trying to set a record?
Listen, I got to get down to 8, man. I have to.
But you're going to get down to 8. When's the timeline?
It's 12 weeks.
You said it's a 9 point what?
9.9. He's already there.
No, I'm not there. I got
He's
the
right at 8. He's
hardest part to go.
Okay.
But I think it's 8. I have 7 or 8 weeks left. So 2 months.
Okay, 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? You're gonna be peaking. You're at peak week, right at the swimsuit weather.
Yes. Well, that was.
That was the game plan. I didn't even think about that, but it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I haven't.
But I have a bunch of vacations planned too, which is
yeah, to
it's
show it
gonna be
off.
tough.
Show it off.
No, I mean, yeah, but also when you're in all inclusives, right? I'm going to Dominican Republic in May. I got Puerto Rico in a couple weeks. I'm gonna be eating that chicharrón de pollo. Chicharrón de pollo. You know what I'm
you'd be
saying?
proud of your niece Livy. She was eating chicharrones with Daddy.
Oh, there you go.
You get some protein.
Any sauce?
No, we were eating them raw.
Because the
Chicharrón.
chicharrón. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
But the chip
Pork
version.
rinds.
Yes,
Yeah.
pork rinds. Well, so you have
Great
you have
alternative to chips, by
chicharrón
the
de
way.
pollo, which is chicken, fried chicken,
Ooh.
basically.
Ooh.
Fried chicken chunks, right? Is that accurate?
I only heard him in pork. So.
Yeah.
I am
No.
my life is so whitewashed. I need some more friends that can
Whitewashed.
cook like this. Or I need to Tell Mike St. Brand, right? The food brand.
Yep.
I've tried to reach out to other styles of food. No answer. So, yes, I'm doing Italian places, but that's who's inviting me. All right? So don't get mad at me. I'm trying.
You said,
Sorry.
no, all good. You said a word, washed.
Washed.
Right? Yeah, so that brings me to the transition.
Beautiful.
I played Justin Anthony Sanchez one-on-one, and I absolutely washed him.
Yes.
So, not for nothing, though, right? I'm 32 years old. You know, I'm in good, like, physical shape, but not, like, basketball shape. So, I was struggling.
Don't sandbag. You know what sandbagging is?
Listen, at 32 years, I'll tell you this
Dave,
right now.
you know what sandbagging is?
Wait, can I add really quick? Because Justin does play
Yeah.
basketball every single day.
Yeah, but
So he is actively practicing.
he had
Right.
4,000 points in high school. Though, so, like,
No.
right?
Absolutely not.
Alyssa Salvo, 4,000 points.
Listen, I'll show you the ball.
Yeah.
I'll let you sign it next time, Just. So
I think I had 4.
I'm
in my
there,
career.
and I'm in my gaiters. I'm in my socks, my work clothes, tucked in shirt, and I was just shooting around. First couple shots, not gonna lie, I think my first shot was an air ball, right? Like while I was warming up, and I'm like, you better give me that rock back.
But
then I start hitting.
you lift weights.
Right.
That screws everything.
But then I started hitting, mid-range. Then he starts to D up a little bit.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
catch
Like
him off
he
guard.
checked me the ball. And I'm like, listen, in my head, if we're playing one-on-one, my goal is I can't have you have the ball.
Oh, it's make you take it.
Yes. So I'm like, I really can't give him the ball.
That was
So,
dumb. You
right?
never play make you take with a bigger
Well,
dude.
listen, no. Before you speak, let me give you my old man game plan.
I'm not going to interrupt. It's a weakness.
And
Go ahead.
And I will say this: no 32-year-old man when I'm in high school is beating me the way that I beat this man. All right, so I'll say that.
Gotcha.
So I get the ball. I'm like, well, I got to get a bucket. Back him down. Dad mode. Slow. 1-0. Check up. Same thing.
You shacked it on him?
Oh yeah, but I'm not even really moving. I'm just like I'm just kind of backing him down, using the body. Now he's reaching. He's going a little harder. 2-0. Then he expects that to happen.
I'm going to have to find a shack thing,
Right?
like a
Do you have
GIF or
footage?
something.
Do we have a security camera?
Yeah, we got cameras there. So then now he's back. Now he backs up. He backs off me because it's 2-0. He's like, he's just gonna come at me. So I'm like, let me hit you with this 2-pointer.
Ooh.
4-0.
Get out my face,
Right?
bro.
Now I just go back to work because now I've established me as a threat both ways. I'm going to the rack or I'm going to shoot it. So then honestly, I took him all the way to 9-0 by just backing him back down. Then I missed a shot. He got one opportunity.
All right, can I?
But he was gassed. I think he airballed his shot. I did. Okay, and then I get the rock back and I finish him off 11-0.
I have a question, Justin. Did you try to foul the shit out of him?
Yeah, he was.
No.
He was.
I found you.
Like, I would have scratched you.
He
I
would.
would've- I
Before
would've
you
slapped
start, I
him.
got one question for Dave. I didn't. I'm trying not to interrupt, so I'll do it in between.
Yep.
When you were hitting the shots, were you having flashbacks to the good old days?
Oh yeah. Then once I got my swagger back,
You were
then it was
feeling
over. It was over.
He had like a jersey in his.
It was
thing,
it.
He put it on.
Yeah, and then I'm screaming in the hallway, 11-0, let's fucking go.
So when
I'm
you-
telling the little kids, let's go.
So when you have flashbacks, do you go back to the high school days or the college days?
high school,
High school.
high school.
All right, fair. I go back to middle school
I go
because
back-
that's when I peaked.
Yep. So Justin, welcome to the podcast, man. You got anything to say on that?
Yeah, I got a good amount.
I got a good amount.
So when you said why did you give him more opportunities to, I'm gonna play him fair and square. I don't want no extra rules. I don't want you can only dribble with your left hand.
But
You
never
can't-
make you take
You
it.
can't. No,
That's number one rule.
I don't care.
Do-
I'm gonna be him fair and square. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose the right way.
That's
You know
not the
what I'm
right way. Make
Yes,
it
it
it's
is.
never the right way.
But here's where I'm coming from, right? So he put me in the post every single play besides that one shot. And yes, when that one shot went in and nothing hit anything besides net, yes, I was tight. So I'm like, all right.
like how you
So
said
I'm
that.
like, literally, it hit nothing but net. It literally went in and there was no noise besides when it hit the ground. I was like, all right.
Felt so
So
good.
I
Kept
went
the wrist
in.
up. No, I kept
No.
it. You know one of those jumpers where you keep the wrist just hanging
Let
there?
me get this right.
Yo.
He played you in his Gators
Yes.
in the gym he built
Yes. Yes.
and shut you out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So after that shot, I was like, all right, now I'm gonna start, I'm gonna start
Fouling.
reaching on when he's about to bounce it, because the best spot to reach for the ball to steal is when he's about to bounce it. So
Oh, really?
as he's about to bounce it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to. This man's bicep is so big you can't get around it.
This is hilarious.
So when I went to go hit the ball, I hit his bicep, right? And then he started to realize what I was doing, and then all he did was switch to the other hand and put that arm right there.
I literally just
He
walked
just
my
went
way.
like this.
I would dribble and just walk. But I
So-
wasn't fouling him. I was just walking my way. But then he starts jumping on me. Then I missed a couple shots. And then when I
he was
missed,
getting mad.
when I missed, then I was getting rebounds and I was going back strong.
Yeah.
Like if you
Soon
got hit
as-
with an elbow, you were gonna be on the floor.
All right. So speaking of getting hit with elbows,
Did
right?
you dunk on him?
No,
or
no.
Can you still dunk?
Yeah.
But just not with Gators.
No,
No,
he
Gators,
wasn't going to do
definitely.
that.
Please
No,
don't,
no,
because
absolutely
that would
not.
be.
My man, when I tell you, every time he went back, he would go back, but he would.
Oh yeah.
So mind you, every time, so like he said,
You gotta pull the chair.
He took one shot
he
the
tried a
whole
couple
game,
times.
right?
He did.
He took one shot the whole game, and he beat me 11-0, right? He's hyped about that, right? 11-0. Imagine how many times that shoulder hit me in my sternum, and I couldn't breathe. Yo, I couldn't breathe. So when he makes fun of me that I airballed, the only shot I got to take is because I couldn't breathe.
This is
His
like assault.
shoulder went into my sternum 24,000 times.
Listen,
Yo,
Is he good at basketball?
he was not good that day. I really thought he was gonna be good, so I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I can't let him get the ball
Yeah.
because I'm like, I can't be playing defense. Like, that's not
Especially
gonna happen.
in those shoes.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
You can't move laterally.
It's not gonna, but I got my footwork.
This makes no sense. Did you have basketball shoes on?
I had my Air Forces on.
better
Those are
than
kind of
those.
bottom heavy, but they're better than those. Right?
They're
They
kinda
better
bottom
than
heavy.
those. But look, so mind you, all right. So he finishes playing. He goes upstairs to do his, whatever he has to do, right? Work and stuff.
Work.
I was done for the day after that. I'm like,
I'm doing what I gotta do. I walk by where he works to bring someone down. Yo, someone that works in the building came up to me and was like, "Yo, you lost?"
I was screaming in the hallway.
Yeah,
I'm like,
screaming.
they were all
telling
probably
everybody.
watching the security camera.
Yeah.
So I went to him. I'm like, "Yo, you telling people?" And,
Well-
and then so a bunch of people heard the story, and I was like, but you know how Dave is. I was like, you really hyped that you beat a 17-year-old who's 5'9"
you
and
can't
like
do that, though. You
140.
can't do that.
And then he goes,
What did I say?
"Oh, so you doubting yourself now?" And I was like, "All right, I lost."
No,
I'm like,
if you
there's
take
no
an
coming
L
back.
like
Yeah.
that and you're confident going in, I want to beat you in fair and square, you can't make excuses.
He was the
after.
one that checked the ball.
Yeah.
I
You
did.
know what I'm saying? Like, I
See,
wasn't
I
even
was
trying
ready.
to.
What
My
you'll
wife was
learn-
there. I wasn't trying to embarrass myself, like pull an ankle.
I mean, not for nothing though. At 17 years old,
Yo.
I'd rather be a 17-year-old than a 30-something-year-old.
Oh yeah, losing to him at 30. Yeah, I'd be tight. I'm not mad.
I don't know.
I'm not mad at all. It's just
He hasn't slept in weeks.
I've
You
heard
can't tell.
this story so many times where it's like, now I gotta say so.
So
I have to.
amazing
Good
recap.
work.
That was
Good
one of
work.
the best recaps I've ever heard.
Still can't breathe. My sternum.
You might have
My sternum hurt.
that's why his voice sounds like that.
yeah.
Why were you dressed as an old man in the pool?
Oh,
I was dying laughing when I saw that. It's undercover.
yeah. We did an episode of Undercover Boss.
Did
at
you
work.
really do that?
Yes. Yeah.
That was
so-
the best disguise they got you.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be like a full like fat suit or something, and they couldn't find
You
that.
literally took KFC's
yes.
outfit and just
Yeah,
wore
yeah,
the
just
wig
put
and
it-
mustache.
Yes,
but nothing else was
the
different.
best part was that the class had no idea what was going on.
Mm.
No, they didn't know.
Oh, they didn't know you were
Prior.
shooting. Let me see
Yes.
this photo.
They didn't know prior to what was going on.
But then when you're in there, they had no idea.
yeah, no, they knew what was going on. But
Dude, we got to send that to the TV. It's literally Dave with a white wig,
yes,
but nothing else
and
is
like
there.
a
No
cotton,
glasses,
a cotton wig.
in a tee.
Mhm.
No wrinkles, nothing.
Nope. But yeah,
You look like you prematured your hair color. at
yeah,
like-
yeah, really. That's what I'm
17.
gonna look like. Oof, look at this.
Why'd you have your shirt on?
That's what I said. I thought it would have been funnier to have
be
me
jacked
be like a
and like
jacked
old. You look
old
like
man,
Zeus,
right?
You know Zeus has like white hair.
Is that a movie?
Yeah,
Zeus?
unbelievable.
Zeus.
You're cutting me at the knees.
Listen,
I would have great references for you, but you don't know anything.
No, I don't. And today you put up something. What was it? Rocky? Not Rocky. Jurassic Park.
Have you ever seen Jurassic Park?
I
So
think
you've
it's a
never
dino.
seen that meme where the
Dinosaur.
dude stands up and then it's like someone twerking?
No.
Have you seen that meme?
No.
Did you see what I posted today? No, you don't follow.
You don't
You're
follow.
too famous.
You're too
for No
famous.
Snooze.
Too famous to follow.
Did you see what I posted? Oh my god, it was my best post to date. I think
I didn't know what it was. It was some guy screaming.
it's a guy. If you've seen Jurassic Park, there's a scene where he sees the dinosaurs for the first time. He's in the back of the Jeep. He like takes his hat off and he. It's Alan Grant, whoever plays him. So he takes his hat off and he slowly stands up, and it's just his face, so you don't know what he's looking at. And then it pans to a dinosaur. So there's memes going around, or there were, where they would do that, and then there'd be some like funny clip. So I posted that with me lifting weights because I'm like, this is impressive.
You were in the clip?
No one watched it, huh?
No, I didn't see
Watch it right now.
I didn't
Watch
see
right
it.
now, live reaction, which is one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube, by the way. You didn't see what I posted.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
So it's like
Donutsaurus. And then there's this goon.
lifting 1,000,000.
No, I didn't lift anything. I
all
just
right.
took my shirt off.
Anyway, you guys ruined it for me. No more memes because no one gets them.
Sorry, I'm the big
You know what? F it,
big
I'm still
viral
posting.
today. Wow. No, that was a good clip, Mike. Good job.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
Appreciate it.
So today's topic, right?
265 for 3. There's a guy, one more comment.
Go ahead, go
'cause- sorry.
Hilarious.
Weakness, tangents. There's a guy I follow. His name's BitBoy Crypto. His whole like shtick is basically talking junk to his followers
Mhm.
and egging on haters. So he posted a video of him benching, and he just
Is he
wrote,
big?
he's like a thick dude, and he wrote, he's not like in good shape. He's like, I don't know. He's got like a D tackle fitness.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
bulky, but
Big,
not like
yep.
sloppy.
Gotcha.
So he posted the benching of him doing like 300 or something, and he wrote statistically stronger than 99% of you.
That's
was
good.
dying.
That is good. Ethereum?
What?
I think it's on the rise. Just saying. I'll leave it there.
You know where I feel.
I'll leave it there.
You know my
I'll leave it
view.
there. I do. I'll leave it.
This is what I'll say. Do whatever you want in the other areas, ETH, whatever. Buy Bitcoin. And then in 10 years, you're going to call me up and be like, thank you, Michael. May I have another? What movie is
Another
that
one.
from? You don't even know that
No.
reference.
Is that a DJ Khaled?
Oh, my God.
All right. Are you good? You ready to rock?
I'll make
Oh
one
my
more.
God.
One more.
Go ahead. Jesus. Go ahead.
BTC. Before the end of the year, I think we break. Not financial advice. Do not invest in it. Do not take my word for anything. BTC 100K by the end of the year.
Bold. I like it though.
It's going to break it. I don't know if it stays above it. It's going to break it. That's my no technical analysis, just the vibe I'm getting from YouTube's.
Okay.
YouTube's hedge funds, listening to like the top of the top. My thought is the top of the top people are finally like coming around to it, and it's going to go bananas, I think.
I like it.
Or it doesn't and goes to zero. And
And
shit,
then
I love.
fucked.
Yeah.
Orgain commercial, then topic. Boom.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we've partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NoSnooze30. Again, that's NoSnooze30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
So today's topic is all about how to improve your weakness.
Don't have any next.
I'm just strong as fuck. That's all. Thank you for tuning in today.
They're going to demonetize
but
us.
I think the first thing, honestly, with that, and it was a great topic that Michael came up with, something we can both, definitely relate to, all of us, and just trying to make progress. But I think taking personal inventory of your strengths and weakness is something that should be done constantly, right? I feel like as adults through life, we just kind of go through the motions. Whereas if we were strategic and we had some intent behind our approach to this, we'd be very focused on our weaknesses, which will then allow them to become, I don't know about strengths, but, to a point to where they're not a terrible weakness. Does that make sense?
Well said. Listen, when I think about the topic, I think about the weakness that's holding me back versus just general weaknesses,
Yep.
right? Like general weaknesses like can't sit still in church, like random stuff.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like I don't really have to work on certain things because they're not affecting me negatively.
Gotcha.
Like a chain link once there's a weak chain, you're limited by the weakest chain in your link, right?
Yes.
And I want to whatever the term is. So I try to identify the thing that is the bottleneck for me getting to the next level in whatever facet, and then try to attack it.
Beautiful. I like that. And I think this is not to get confused, because working on your weaknesses does not mean that you're just like chasing perfection. I think it's more of that inventory approach, right? And the first step that I like to do when I do highlight my weaknesses is actually highlight my strengths. I think it starts you off in a positive tone with yourself. So if I were to ask you though, what are your top 3 to 5 strengths? Just right off top.
Bench, dips, strengths, multitasking, communication, maybe not communication, strengths. I don't know. Vision.
Vision is a good one. Very good.
And stubbornness.
Good. So I mean, you pretty could be.
Or
Yeah,
commitment.
could be.
Commitment.
I like that.
Stubbornness, commitment are the same thing.
I like
you just
that.
got to use
My
different
top
words.
5 was respectful, consistent, organized, disciplined, and a team player.
Time out. You told me to do 3 and you took
Wait,
5.
Fuck, I
time
did
out.
3 to
Did
5.
you really
3 to
think
5.
that he was going to ask you a question, not having a whole list?
Wait, what
Yeah,
were
of course.
Say it again. Sorry.
Respectful,
One of my
consistent.
weaknesses is not listening.
Organized, disciplined, and a team player.
Okay, I like it.
Right? So now that brings me, and what that does
Under
is
debate.
the reason why I do that is because then through my strengths, I'm actually able to highlight my weaknesses. My weakness for a long time, besides my little ramen noodle biceps here, has been public speaking when it comes to my professional life.
Okay.
For whatever reason, right? So although I'm, strong in so many other aspects, I've noticed that over time, yes, I have gotten better, but public speaking to this day is actually a weakness. And I think where I can really improve is by setting, actual standards for myself and specific goals when it comes to public speaking. I think you have to have goals in place when it comes to your weakness, if it's something that you want to get better. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
So this year, for whatever reason,
Because how do you track that you're getting better?
correct. So I have set a goal of peaking and actually booking 4 different speaking engagements, right? So I've got 2 right now.
I've seen them, by the way. Congrats. I love it.
What do you mean you've seen that?
I mean, you talked to the police department,
yes,
right?
Yes. Okay.
Are those part of it or not?
No.
All right, I'll go after myself.
Yeah, but one is with a big organization, Coca-Cola. I happen to be speaking to about 200 to 250 of their employees. And so that's the type of caliber that I'm talking about. You're talking about 150 plus people in a room packing it. Yes,
you just
sir.
skate over topics like they're nothing. You're speaking to Coca-Cola?
Yes.
Did you tell them you've never drank one in your life because you don't let that sugar get in your
Yes,
body?
I said, listen, I need Coke Zero and Nestle water to keep me.
Love it.
I think
All right.
I think Nestle owns them.
So what are you doing at Coca-Cola?
So I'm speaking to their employees
About
progress, motivation, how to continue in the same field of work, but continuing to find inspiration behind the day-to-day.
and is this through work or independent?
It was kind of both. We partnered with
Pretty
them.
cool.
Yeah, we partnered with them on a couple initiatives, with work, and then they kind of reached out to me
Sick.
saying like, "Hey, I'd like you to, speak at our PD
It's all happening.
development."
Ed Milet Jr. It's
No,
all happening.
no.
Didn't we call this in the beginning?
Absolutely not. And can I public speak? Yes, I can, but I'm not very comfortable doing it. Right. So
Okay, I got
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I believe my strong suit when it comes to public speaking is my preparation, because it is one of my weaknesses. I have to be prepared.
You over prepare.
I have to be, because if not, then I don't feel that confidence. And when you're public speaking, I mean, I don't know if you see it, but you could listen to podcasts, you can, watch people speak, when they're not confident in their own abilities and they're just regurgitating
Or
words.
comfortable, yeah.
Correct. And then the other one that I was able to book was it's called the National Recreation Downstate Conference, to where people in my field, there's going to be about 300 of them, and I'm one of the outbreak sessions.
Sick.
For that. So that's 2 on the year.
Nice.
I need to get 2 more, but it's a way that I'm now trying to work on my specific weakness.
I love it. You're getting the reps, which is key.
But even
reps
something
that
like,
count.
Even something like this, I mean, what we do,
Yeah, it's
week to
amazing.
week, it helps.
Is there an idea to build like a personal brand around this? Like in a perfect world, would you love to public speak like on a circuit? Or be at least invited to like stuff you care about to speak?
Yeah, I think
Or no?
my drive though is to not get paid to do it. I think that is a result of it.
Yeah. I'm
You know
not
what I
saying
mean?
That. But I'm saying like,
but
in
I
some
genuinely-
facet you enjoy it.
I do enjoy it.
Okay.
I do enjoy it when it's a topic that I can choose.
Gotcha.
What I don't like in my work field, is when I have to public speak on things that, I'm not necessarily choosing to speak on.
You have to.
But I have to because it's
Gotcha.
a press conference and you have no choice.
So next question: when you're public speaking, what is your topic of choice? What do you enjoy the most? Mindset, tactical? What?
Yes, I think mindset, progress, the no snooze lifestyle.
Yep.
But it all really starts with my own personal journey, which is something that I found just through
Interesting.
doing this podcast. We struggled for a long time, but what the hell are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Until there was that, aha moment where we were like, I am no snooze, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do this on a day-to-day basis. That's all I need to basically talk about. And, depending on I'll say client, customer, whatever they want, their message, I ask them, what is it that you want me to do?
Yep.
And then how can I fit?
Tailor it.
Exactly. How can I fit what I actually, know in terms of knowledge? Because there's a lot of things that I don't know about.
Yep.
Right? So I can only stay in my lanes when it comes to that.
Yep. So here's just a point of nuance I would like to make. I love that. That's amazing. Congrats. For me, and we've had conversations about this, I don't like public speaking. I'm decent at it. I've done some best man speeches. I've gotten up and done some things in public.
Some great best man speeches.
Not bad. The over preparing thing, you hit the nail on the head. I reread it like a million times because I was so nervous. For me, it wasn't something I wanted to work on because I don't see that ever becoming a big piece of my life. At some point, like, this is crazy to think about, I will have to give a father speech, hopefully, God's willing, at my daughter's wedding or something, right? So, like, I'm going to have to revisit it at some point. But for now, I'm like, you know what? It's not important to me enough where I want to put some work into it, but it is a weakness. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Just saying that you can identify weaknesses, and it's a question of, do you want to invest the time to improve that, or is that I'll come back to it, like golf. Golf is a huge weakness of mine. For me, it's not, I could care less. So I'm like, I'll figure it out in the future. Does that make sense?
I love it. And honestly, you do this all the time without realizing it. But I have down here, what are the benefits of changing, right? Yes. When you have weaknesses, you have to really establish what level weakness is it. For me, with public speaking, the benefits are endless, right? I mean, you're talking monetary, value down the line. You're talking exposure. You're talking about networking. You're talking about building something through even a platform. What I love about public speaking too is it allows me, especially when it comes to work, it actually allows me to promote my team. Yeah. Right? Because my team does 99% of the work. Yes, I'm there and I'm connecting dots, executing, but that's a place that when I go speak in front of state officials, local officials, whatever it is, it gives me an opportunity to promote my team. Same thing in regular public speaking, not tied to work, right? It allows me to speak about my grandfather, the great inspirations of my life, and share that piece. And I really find comfort and I guess I have a liking for that, and it gives me a platform. Yeah. So in terms of that, that's where I kind of weigh it. What are the benefits of the actual weakness for you in the future? Yeah. And something like golf, it might not be great, but I'm not going to lie, with this spring weather out here in the tri-state, I want to put a 5-iron in my truck and just go smoke a cigar and just hit some balls. You in?
I rationalize to myself when I can afford a simulator and I have that in my house or somewhere easily accessible, even as a business, then I will get into golf. But until then, I'm not going to commit a lot of time. Yes, I'll play with friends and stuff, but my return on the time that I'm doing golf is prime time for me. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I have these conversations internally constantly of like, is it worth it? And it's stressful because I'm constantly evaluating activities and things. And ultimately, I always come back to like, is it taking away time with Livy? Because I have my life and business schedule has so much opportunity cost now because of the baby, because of Dana and family, that like last night I was showing properties, which I had to do, but I have a different feeling now because I'm directly taking time away from living. Yes. So that makes it so like black and white for me. And I'm able to say no to so much more easily versus before I had Livy. Not that I didn't like spending time with Dana, but that time was less valuable. Sorry, Dana. But you know,
right?
Like 100%. Kids grow up fast, right?
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to recreate the mornings that I have with Livy. So it's crazy to say, but I'm even evaluating getting up at 4 because I'm like, Dana, she's been getting up at 6. So what can I do that I have control of, that I can prepare so that if she gets up at 6, I can spend more time with her. And I'm not in the basement walking on my treadmill going through TikTok.
Yep.
You know, so like it's something that I'm working on, but I forgot where we started, but basically like the evaluation of like an activity such as golf, I also look at my enjoyment. Like, would I care if I never played golf again? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. No, that.
Do you enjoy? I have some questions. Do you enjoy golf?
I do.
I hate that I suck at it.
Yeah, I do hate that I suck at it, but I enjoy it.
How do you measure
enjoyment,
personal gratification? And that's part one. And
Yep.
part two is, do you just adjust what gratifies you now to, based on your life?
So I'm in a weird position where like I love my job. Like real estate is something I'd probably do if I had all the money in the world. So when I'm coming from a place like that is super fulfilling. It's difficult and a grind, but it is super fulfilling. And like when I do have free time, I choose to do that, even personally as investments, research, all that stuff. So everything on top of that, other than like working on the basement, is kind of like a bonus activity. So I've been very limited in what not to say that I don't do stuff for myself and enjoy myself, but I feel like when I'm out at the job, which is crazy to say, I'm doing something I enjoy. So the rest of the time should be like family and events and doing things with friends. Does that make sense? And some of that's activities, but a lot of times it's just like nights are easier to manage. So it's just spending time with family, with dinner, that type of thing. So when I think about weaknesses, for example, I had a rice cooking fiasco last night, and there's things that are reoccurring in my life that keep coming up that I'm like, God, I thought you fixed this. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting time is my biggest pet peeve with myself. When I know there's a better way to do something and I go back to an old habit and then screw up like 4 hours, and it takes away from time with Livy and working out or doing something with Dana. Dana loves it because like she watched Real Housewives while I was going nuts making rice in a rice cooker. But I come back to like, I got the rice cooker so I can save time, so I could set it and forget it. Yes, I screwed up because I put too much rice and too much water because there's no directions. I took from my mother. But I look at that, something like that, like a weakness of mine is burning rice. It's stupid to say.
What?
It's so dumb to say, but I can't cook rice for the life.
But so I'm confused with you.
So I got the microwave rice,
yeah,
which
like
is great.
Uncle Ben's is in a bag. You have to rub it so it separates.
It's great.
You put it in for 90 seconds and it's done.
So crazy to say, but it's another way I could be more efficient. So I'm like, all right, well, what's the next step up from microwave rice? Prepping a ton of rice ahead of time and just divvying it out. Right? Because then I don't have to worry. I buy one big bag of rice. I'm trying to do your meal prep shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Sorry, pardon my French.
I love it.
So I get this rice cooker because I'm like, this is amazing. I literally, if you put a bomb in my kitchen, I can take my 2 items I need, a rice cooker and an air fryer, and be good.
Great, we're canceled. Yeah.
Gooch. Well, whatever. I could be great with that. So it stresses Dana out because I have like these. Everyone calls me Gadgets McGee. So I have these 2 things, but I've dialed in with the air fryer where it's so easy now. Even if I'm like, I need to get better at it. But my weakness, the point being, is I get distracted by things, and I get committed to like, I'm gonna figure out a rice cooker, and I'm doing it tonight, even though it didn't make sense.
You do that with work
night.
at all?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
I do it with everything.
Wait, how long does a rice cooker take to make rice?
I have no idea.
Because real rice, and
Yeah, talk to me.
Making
Talk
it
to
real, like the right way, right, is 30 minutes. And
That's
I don't
a long
know,
time though.
maybe, but how long? That's why I asked. How long does it take on the rice
No
cooker?
idea. I put my timer.
Because how
it's
much
like
could you
40
be
minutes.
saving? 40 minutes?
Well,
that's already more time than the 30 that it takes me.
So here's the thing, right? It's frustrating because I have this internal conflict and I go back and forth, but I want to say I'm committed to this, so I am. Like, I shouldn't cook in the morning because there's so many variables. The morning I need to make as efficient as possible because I hate getting out of the house and being like leaving something dirty at the house. Then Dana's upset with me because I've messed up the kitchen. I don't like variables in the morning because Livy's the main variable and it's chaos, right? So I'm like, all right, I wanted breakfast tacos the other day within my macros. I did it. Wasn't worth it. I'm like, I could have chugged a cup of egg whites, which isn't great, but I would have saved so much time. So now it's yogurt in the morning, Oikos, because Livy likes it. So I can be snacking on my yogurt and giving her some, so it complements, right?
Love it.
She sleeps in, I'll just eat it myself. But worst case, Oikos. Then a protein bar. Lunch is a shake because that's so easy. Like I literally can have it at the office. I can have one in the car, like it's dummy proof. And then nights are just real food. So like I go back and forth all the time, but I'm like, I got to go back to what works. And maybe there's a way to improve it, but now I need to lean on what works.
Wait, when,
So
when are
funny.
you hitting your calories? If you're eating
2,000.
Yo,
But you
it's-
just said egg whites in the morning and
No,
shake?
so 2 yogurts.
Yeah.
So that's like whatever, 300 calories, probably 30, maybe 200 calories, 30 grams of protein. Protein bar is 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. So that's like 40 grams, 50 grams right there of protein. My shake is 2 scoops, so that's 50 grams of protein. So before
Yeah, but you said 2,000 calories. How many calories have you?
dinner would be
Okay.
like a big
That's-
meal.
that's
So
a
that'd
big-
be like I'm trying to follow what this billionaire does. He does a pound of meat, doesn't matter
Okay.
what it is,
Yeah.
to get his 100 grams of protein.
I love how all your weaknesses are around food.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
what?
you know what it is? My weaknesses are keeping structure. I've gotten so much better in my professional life on having structure, being organized and all that. There are times where I can scale it up, but now it's basically I've designed everything for me to be the bottleneck. So my main deterrent for growing is time. So one of the biggest areas I waste time is food. So like I got it down to a science where I don't stop for lunch. I just pound a protein shake or I have something pre-made in the office. So that's out. But then when I get home for dinner, it's chaos. So I'm like, I need to dial that in. Morning is pretty good. So like it's something that throws me my whole day off.
Not to
because
pry into your schedule, but how long do you take to eat your lunch?
I just drink a shake on the go.
Also, just on the go.
Because it's much easier for me with my like distractions
Is 10
to
minutes
not
still too much to give to eating, or is it just because
No.
you're moving and you just can't stop?
It's the combination of preparing lunch and knowing what I need to prepare and then remembering to bring it in the morning. Like I could do it, but it's so much easier just to have a shake.
You know what I started doing with this whole journey that I'm on, and I'm going to take this right out of the Dave Regina, cookbook, finding
Cookbook.
fitness in your life.
Finding fitness. It's a good brand.
So we do the meal preps for the week.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing every day, and we have it for the whole week. But it's a decent sized meal. So I eat a decent breakfast, a pretty hearty, healthy lunch, and then I try not to eat in the evening. And if I do eat in the evening, it's usually either soup or toast or something like minimal. And that's one of the biggest differences from now to before.
Mhm.
I would have dinner before, and I don't even eat after. I don't, at least not a big heavy meal anymore.
So I have more time in the evenings to be able to do stuff because Livy goes down usually at 7.
No, but not cooking. Like I
Well, I'm
shouldn't say
saying
we.
just in general.
Catherine cooks on the
Yeah.
on she'll meal prep on the Sunday,
Mhm.
and then we have the lunches, and that's why I asked, like, because we don't have to prep it on the day of. All it takes me is about, when I say 5 minutes, that may be a long time because I scarf it down at lunchtime,
Yeah.
and then I'm right back on the move.
So for example, my meal.
Are we still talking about food?
Yeah.
All
One
right,
second.
Yeah. I'm
So
kinda-
this is
kinda hungry.
interesting stuff.
What?
I'm hungry.
So my meal prep has adjusted to like marinating chicken, but it all comes back to upping the level of organization. That's where my bottleneck is right now. The more I listen to people, the more I realize they have their schedule planned out 6 months in advance to a year. Like the big time people.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm probably scheduled out like 2 weeks to a month. So like that's good. That's way better than I used to be. But if I'm going to take the next step, I need to look even farther out, because then the more organized, more structure you have, the more time you have for personal stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, the formula's there though. Like if you're still struggling with which way to go, whereas when you find it,
Well, no,
like I won't waste any time on food just because I don't have to.
But you
right?
have that
Like,
so dialed in.
yeah.
Where that's
just gotta
one
do
of my
it.
weaknesses that I'm trying to figure out, because I don't have it dialed in. I know what I should do, but I'm still trying to figure out what variation of it works best. And Livy's been a big wrench in the equation, because some days I'm finding that even if I can do one thing one day, if I can't do it every day of the week, I shouldn't implement it. For example, Livy's at the in-laws tonight, so sometimes I'll sleep in,
Mhm.
right? I can't do that anymore because God forbid Livy's not able to go because she's sick or something, I need to be on my regimen. So that's why, like, if I can, I try to wake up at 5 every day instead of going back to like 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. on a Saturday, Sunday. It's much easier for me to just be an extremist and just all the way through wake up at 5. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But I'm learning that. I didn't know that before having a kid, and like it's all growing and improving on weaknesses is very painful and it's difficult. It's like shedding a skin.
Well, I think you're in a good spot because it's only in food, so.
No, it's no. Like work. Like I was saying, the organization side, like
No, I'm messing
waste.
with you.
I waste. Yeah, but so no matter how dialed in you are, you always waste time, right? So there are things and processes I'm implementing to waste less time, but my weakness is getting out of flow and knocking out items and getting distracted by fires versus being proactive, right? So like at different levels of the profession, you're dealing with different time constraints. So the more listings you have, then all of a sudden it becomes the time constraint of scheduling showings, right? So it's like, all right, how do I make this more efficient? Well, I got to map out my week so that I can push people into slots that make sense for me. And if they don't, then I have plan B that I can push people to, right? Then it's like, all right, well, I'm used to having 2 listings. Now I have 4 listings. So what does that still work, or do I need to rework that?
Right.
So it's like this constant, yes, I'm figuring out systems, but then I'm breaking them because I'm trying to upgrade to the next level. So I put it on myself, but I'm designing all this stuff as I'm figuring it out. So it's been very stressful. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I love it. One of my personal weaknesses, and it doesn't have to do with food.
I like food. I think food is like
No, I know. But it's to that point. You know, you constantly level up in life, right? And then what was a busy season for you last year is like just the start of your this year.
yes.
Right? So it's a constant level up. And I found that even though I'm, completely structured in my life, I over anticipate things and it takes away from my present moment. Right. And I've been finding that I get anxiety about what's going to happen versus sitting back and living in the actual moment.
Stoicism, dude.
Which is, and yeah,
you got to watch that.
It's
great.
difficult though. Like I literally back to Vegas, right? I was texting Karina like, is it bad that I'm anxious about, the time difference, me getting back, prepping for the week, and then getting right back into business? She's like, yeah, that's terrible. Like you chose to go on this trip. You're there. Make the best of it. But I see that consistently because of the volume of my life now. I guess, just so many things have changed. And again, what used to seem like a busy day, week, month is nothing now. So I need to find that balance of still being able to live in the moment and enjoy myself because I'm over anticipating of what's going to happen next, which is a terrible thing. And this really never happened to me back then.
So something I've done that's helped.
Yeah,
which
give me
may
some
work for
advice
you,
here.
Is scheduling in flexibility.
I do that already.
Oh, let me go F myself.
No, you know what I'm saying? Like I do that. That's and honestly, it's when I'm in that flexible zone.
So stoicism, that's the answer.
I still begin to over anticipate the effect of what I'm doing right now and me just being relaxed, how that's going to affect me on the next thing that I need to do, which is bad. It's tough, and it's all about just being in the present moment. And I enjoy myself, that. But constantly, I'm always thinking about what do I have to do next? What do I have to do next? Am I missing something? My phone here, the calendar, this.
Well, it is a domino effect. So I don't think it's a bad thing to anticipate. Like if you know that you have a big day the next day, it's like, all right, well, you can't be.
But I feel, and not
hammered,
to, I feel like every day now for me is a big day. And that's the way.
Can
That's
I,
what has to
can
be
I
the
pull
norm.
a piece of advice, rather something you said earlier. But you said that especially when you're public speaking, one of the things that gives you, I guess, the calm to be able to do it the way you do it is to prepare and kind of like over prepare. Is that something that you could apply to this, for instance? Like if you're going to go away on a vacation or something, and you're going to stress over certain things, that you kind of anticipate it, like you guys are saying, and kind of prepare it more so that you can almost like, now you know that you over prepared for it, completely detach, go, enjoy. And then when you come back, knowing that I've already done some legwork, so all I have to do is kind of jump into the driver's seat and go. And that's literally, you said it.
No,
like,
I know.
even-
It sounds really good for me.
So stoicism, to add to your point, is you prepare and you control what you can control. His thing is like when you're getting stressed out, On the left side, right, this guy, Ryan Holiday, he shares all these philosophies. He's super famous, works with the NBA, NHL, all the big teams. He says, write down your list, what you can control, what you can't control, and they focus on what you can control list. So his thing is, what's his saying? He says, well, it's not him. It's like Marcus Aurelius or something. Be strict on yourself, lenient with others, which I'm like, I have to work on that because I impose my stress on other people when I'm going from thing to thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what has helped me and gotten me through and growing in the real estate world and be able to at least be in it for 8+ years, which is rare, like I think 80 or 90% of the people fail within the first year, is realizing that I can't control everything and things aren't good or bad. They just are. So like when you give me details about something, like in the past, I'd be like, oh, it sucks. Like, now it's like, well, that's what it is, and this is how we react. So you don't react to things and get your blood pressure up. You just take it and you run with it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, deal falls through. Listen, next time we could do this, this, and that. We can't do anything about this. It is what it is. Versus like, oh my God, that's such a terrible situation. Yes, you could be upset, but things aren't good or bad. Who knows? Maybe you'll get more money on the second deal.
Yep.
So it's a release of control that gives you actually more control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Such a hard thing to master.
Yeah. Very
you
counterintuitive.
You need to speak more on that as the episodes go, and because that is something that
I'm working on it.
Especially with people that are have that controlling mindset or mentality, which I know for sure I'm one of those. That thought, which I've read before and I've seen before, it sounds amazing, and yes, it's a yes, a rotund yes. But to be able to master that, especially when you're so wrapped up in whatever it is that you're feeling strong about, holy, is hard to get yourself out of that and be able to say, oh, well, you know what? It's not a bad feeling. It's not this. It is what it is.
Yep.
But you're so strong on like, oh my God, why the hell did it happen? You know what I mean?
Well,
the
compliment, and it's you still can be very controlling. Like I now with certain deals, like I realize I'm gonna have to do it anyway. So for example, we're trying to fix a leak in a property, and I'm like, just give me the number, I'll take it. We talked about this on the way to the Ranger game. Like there are things that I can still control, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So it's like a compliment. Yep. Like I'm not saying don't be overproductive or proactive, but I'm saying be as proactive as you can be so that you're not stressed, because you're like, listen, I did everything I could.
Yep.
I couldn't have turned one more stone, and that ability to prepare, or at least take action on the back end, relieves you, because a lot of times you get stressed because it's something that you didn't do that you're worried about.
Do you see that times are changing for you too, especially in the very personal world, right? You and I both happen to be very similar with our friend group. We happen to be the life of the party. We like to have a couple. But what's happening to me now is, because I was able to sustain that for so many years, when I do dial it back now, I catch all this extra peer pressure of, oh, you're different. Oh, you can't, you're not going to hang the same way you used to hang. You're calling it early tonight. And it's like, yeah, some things just have to change. And that part actually gives me anxiety, believe it or not, because I'll be hanging with the boys who I used to be with till 4 a.m. And, now by 11:30, 12 o'clock, I'm like, yo, I got to get to bed, because you're not waking up to take care of my daughter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's still going to be waking up at 5:30, 6 o'clock on the weekends.
Yeah.
So I really reevaluate those things, and those are the things that really it takes away from my present moment when I'm supposed to be having a great time. But the reality is, you know what? I don't drink as much as I used to. I don't have to.
Yeah.
I
mean, that comes back to like putting more restraints on yourself. Like
Yep.
I say stuff to people and I'm like, no, I don't do that because I just can't.
Right.
I don't do it anymore.
Right.
I feel it more from the peer pressure of what people expect. I never was I didn't really have a group that stayed out that late other than like hanging out with you.
Yeah.
And I was never like shy, but like, dude, I gotta get out of here.
Yep.
Like, so I don't really feel it that way. I feel it more on people saying you need to slow down. Like people have been saying things to me like, do you really need to do that? Like, do this? Why don't you slow down? This and that. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but and they say of how I used to be on certain things, like, oh, you're so this, you're so that. And they try to impose their view of what I was. And I'm like, oh, you don't know me anymore,
right.
which is fine. But I don't even waste energy anymore. I just do, versus try to defend myself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like I never explain anymore why I'm doing something. I just do it and then let them be like, oh, I guess he didn't listen to me.
Yep.
And then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
No,
that
it's-
comes back to like the calmness of everything is like no one cares. Like at the end of the day, if my family is affected, that's a negative. But other than that, I'm going to do my best job possible. And no matter what I do, people are going to be upset. Someone's going to be pissed off at something I did. I know how I operate. I'm very confident in myself, and I'm doing the right things by me and the people I'm working with. So if it doesn't work out for whatever reason and it just doesn't happen and there's a negative thing, I did everything I could. You can't keep going back to it and being like, oh, I effed up. But you got to be hard on yourself about certain things. But if you're doing this stuff right and you're doing everything on your control to make good decisions and work hard, there's not much you can do. You know what I mean?
Golden Pirelli today. No, I'm serious. It came with heat today.
Well,
I love it.
stoicism. You need to
I
look
love it.
into it. Ryan Holiday, Daily Stoic. It's one of my favorite things of all time.
I've heard you say it about 150,000
Well, you don't
times.
listen, you know.
No,
It's-
I do. But I'm
it's
telling
the
you, it's more
only
in my
reason
personal life.
I almost
than
had
that,
a nervous breakdown when starting real estate because of the pressures of when I kind of hit a level, and this was like 6 years ago, like
Yeah.
early on. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, this is so much stress. I was balding. Everything was going south. Then I
Got
listened.
hair plugs.
No, I just was like, something in my mind isn't clicking correctly. My weakness is I'm getting too stressed about things. So how do I combat that? And I remember diving into this philosophy, and I don't even think it was a book. I just heard people talk about it, of controlling what you can control and then leave everything else to being just results. And it is what it is, but it's not good or bad. It just is. So that freed me in a sense of like, now I just focus on what I can control and everything else.
And then when the result happens, that's when you handle that.
But even the
Right.
results are just what it is. It's
Right,
not-
it is what it is.
You
No, I
can't be like, oh, I sold this house because I did a phenomenal job. Could be the case,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, it's like, that's what happened. It's
Yeah.
not good or bad.
No, it's weird for me. You know, as you're saying that, I don't have any of that weakness that I'm speaking of in my professional world. Like, I'm not in one thing worrying about if that's gonna flop. It's more my personal life than leading into my professional life, if that makes sense.
And what? Yeah, explain.
You know what I mean? Like
No.
with the drinking thing, in the moment, it takes away from me enjoying time with my boys because I'm now anticipating, oh, it's a Sunday. Yes, I want to watch some football, but Monday I have to be back to the grind.
But you could still do both. You could still, like, for example,
it's
like-
moderation.
yeah. Remember when I used to have vodka sodas and I switched to water and no one knew?
Yeah, I know.
And you were blacked
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
and
and I was
like,
blacked
gotta
out.
go to work.
Yeah, exactly.
But I had to go to work, so I'm
Right.
like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna order mine, and then like if someone calls me, I'll be like, yeah, it's water. I don't
Yep.
care.
And it's just funny, man. My desire to
That
do
was
that,
funny.
to do that, and live that type of life now, it's not what it was.
So this is another thing I think about. Everyone, you change. Like if you want to be if you want different results and you're in a different level, you have to become a different person.
Correct.
Black and white as it is, yes, people will be like, oh, you've changed. Like you're not as fun. You're not as this. You're not as that. It doesn't matter. Like if you're friends,
That's what I'm going
people
through
are
right
gonna be
now.
cool.
There you go.
But
Michael.
that's like I'm so different than what I was even like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing. It is what it is.
Right.
I can't function and be like the old person.
Exactly.
Like, yes, I have flashbacks, and everyone reminds me how drunk I got at Dana's 30th, right?
I remember I carried
I didn't
you.
handle stress as well back then. That was a issue of mine that I had to address, and I think I've done well. And people remind me constantly, but it's a nice reminder to know that that's not me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's just what
that,
it is.
And that was the time, and
Yeah.
now you are a completely different person.
But people that know you from that, it kind of hurts because you're like, it probably hurts your view of me, but you can't overthink that because the only way to change their perception is just to do what you're doing. And then they're like, I can't believe this is the same person.
Listen, he's spitting heat.
No,
Come on, man. Come on.
I don't
Give me
like
some
this.
viral here.
It's just,
Give me
no,
the nubby. You saw that, right?
So I talk a lot, right? And I like
You got a
to
podcast, man.
BS with people.
It's your job.
Yeah, which still I think is hilarious. But I don't communicate a lot of things well, what's in my head, and it gets me in trouble with people because, like, for example, Dana, she's been, being with her has been like a team effort, and my issue is it's so crystal clear in my head, but then when it comes out, it's completely different than what I think,
Right.
and I don't present it correctly.
You're not clear with the verbal as you are in your head.
Yes.
Right?
I know generally like my rules, what I
Yeah.
think, this and that, but then when I spit it out, it sounds crazy.
Yes.
So I feel like sometimes that I don't communicate well enough to get people on board for my thoughts, but I can pitch a business to someone very well.
No problem.
Like I can get someone on board into an idea, like no problem, but I can't get people to see my vision because it's because I talk about it in my head all day and I'm like, yeah, this
Yes.
is but no one's with me all day.
Right.
Like I see all the video of my life and I'm like, how are you telling me this isn't going to happen?
Right.
It's going to happen.
I've been there 150,000
Do you know
times
what
in
I'm
my
saying?
head. Yes,
That's
absolutely.
why when you yell at us and
Yep.
you say, just do it, it's easy because you have so much footage and proof of it. We don't have that. We're trying to get our own footage and proof because the old saying of like, you can get told a lesson, but you won't learn it until you go through it yourself
Yep.
is so true.
So true. I love it.
My weakness is to stop talking.
No, man, I think you came with some hot fire today, and I can't wait to even listen back myself.
Who knows?
Because
I don't even know what we
you're
said.
spitting some good stuff, man.
Blacked out.
You got anything else before we go to my favorite section?
Dave's Dime of the Week. The dimes have been on fire. I don't know. Just watch and hopefully
Just
we
watch.
back it up. I don't
Let's
know.
get it. So this will bring us to my favorite section, officially, Dave's Dime of the Week.
Dime.
Excuse the viral.
I think you sound fine.
Sometimes you don't realize your own strength until you come face to face with your greatest weakness. Now, this happened to me as I read that. It happened to me about 8 years ago in my industry professionally with the same exact weakness that I have today on a different level, and it was public speaking. I used to literally have a fear of public speaking to the point that, like, don't call on me, like, hiding, like, don't give me the microphone, I don't want to speak, I'm sweating, I can't do it. My commissioner at the time, she put me on the spot to basically speak at a conference that we were at in front of the staff, and she knew my story personally, right? But it wasn't until that moment that I was like, oh boy, I actually have to do this, right? So I was now faced with my greatest weakness of public speaking. And I fumbled around a little bit, but then I basically got back to one of my greatest strengths, which is the ability to motivate, right? And inspire people. So I basically had told a story. I forget the actual story of what it was. It was one of those things where everybody said I said something really, really great, and I didn't even conceptualize what it was that I said.
I think 10 minutes ago with me.
Right? No, seriously. But it rung true to that because the ability to motivate people and inspire people has been a really great strength of mine over the years, right? But when I was faced with that actual weakness in that moment, I was like, wow, that actually is a strength of mine. So they play off of each other. And then honestly, my last thing with this is my greatest, I guess, achievement thus far when it comes to my personal self is my body image. People see me now, and it's fun to talk about.
You were just gonna say my body. I was like, whoa.
No, but seriously, so people see me now, and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
And he's this, he's that. Like, oh, it's easy for you. You've done it for so many years. Like, you don't know where I was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this takes work. So to work on your weaknesses, it really takes a serious effort over time to, basically turn your weakness to an actual strength.
How do you become a monk and just laugh and not even respond to people?
And
That's what I want to get to.
There you go.
Where people say something and you're just, it's funny.
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
then you just move it. You
Yep.
move it. Then the payoff. I mean, everyone's got a little payoff in their life. The payoff is in like a year when they see you and they're like, holy shit. Like, I guess he isn't full of shit. How do you just get to that point? I want to be so zen. I've said it before, so zen and so organized that people are like, he is a meticulous guy. He must have OCD. I can't even fathom that he is like crazy ADD.
He's a robot.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to be a robot like you. But
I'm
no,
not a robot.
I'm joking.
I'm not
I'm
a
joking.
robot. I'm
But
not
maybe
a
we
robot.
are. I think I'm an alien.
Listen,
I tell Dana all the time.
I could be. I'm not a regular person.
You might be an alien.
It's one of my A Boogie lines, man.
Hey, Boogie with the hoodie.
That's right.
Someone shorten his
that's
name.
Justin Anthony Sanchez's guy. But no, Michael, fire today. Always a pleasure, my brother. So until next time, stop snoozing
Get up and get after it.
and work on your damn weaknesses.
I gotta work on my wrist. That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.
Come on.
Come on.